Hi, and welcome to A Better Place. On today's program, we will be bringing you our part 2 with Mr. Roy Cotton Jr. as we discuss his radio programs, which are very inspirational. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
It's a wireless system. Cable WTN. Go digital WTN. With local TV on channel 10. Call and make a date. 542-5898. Down by overseas building, Ruby and staff waiting. 48 channel, fasting with plenty more coming. News and sports from all over. Novella, Creole and Patois. Local thing is priority soon. Pavement and Taki-Taki. TV Carib on channel 10. We'll always be your friend. Check out the seal, we have the best rate. 542-5898. Hey man, look, babies jumping up in the crib, listening and watching TV Carib. What? You're making joke.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. As I mentioned in the intro, today on our program we will be having a part 2 as we speak to Roy Cotton Jr. about his radio programs. Roy, welcome once again to A Better Place.
Thank you very much, Angelique.
So like I said before, now I know that you have various radio programs where you inspire people. Tell me a little bit about how you got started and exactly on which radio station you work.
Okay. This is very interesting too to share, Angelique. My radio career actually started, believe it or not, back in 1994. And that was just before I went off to Curacao to study. I got the big break to be a radio personality, presenter on PJ82. And very, very grateful to the folks back at PJ82, where during that time, I had 2 radio programs. It was one on Sunday evenings, and that was, just playing really nice romantic music on 102.7. And during the day, I would fit in here and there to do radio, the morning shows, etc. So that was a wonderful experience. Then when I went on to Curacao, I had a great opportunity to be on 2 radio stations. So that's between 95, 96. And one of them was a Christian youth radio station. And there I had my first teenage talk show, and that was a combination of speaking with the youngsters from Curacao and those from St. Martin and Saba and Stacia, and it was co-hosted by a very good friend of mine. Back then he was a student on Curacao, and in the weekends I did another show on Saturdays, which was more of the entertainment, at a really nice time late in the afternoon. Folks are out barbecuing or driving the cars, washing their clothes or whatever, and that really became a very famous program. So then when the opportunity came for me to go to the Netherlands in 1996, I took a break, and I really focused on my studies then. And then in 1998, opportunity came for me to do a radio show in the city of Delft, so on your way to Rotterdam. And there they needed someone to interview R&B artists that came from the United States. So I had the privilege to meet back then LL Cool J and a few other artists. And that was really great, good fun. And I was also co-hosting a student program, radio program, where I was helping both Antillean students and Dutch students to choose the right studies at the university schools in the Netherlands. Then before going on to the UK in 2002, I was approached by a radio station in Rotterdam to do something for young Antilleans to help them to be inspired and to find, work, employment in the big cities. So I did that for about a few months, and then the great opportunity came for me to move to the UK in 2002. And all that time, 2002 to 2007, I did nothing with radio, and that was for me like the longest journey of I'm not on radio at all. And something came about in me in 2007 where he said, you know what, I'm at a very huge university, 23,000 students. This should be something that I can do to inspire these young people. A university is a place where people meet each other, there's new relationships that are built. So why not? And I prayed about it.
Right.
And I believe it was a God-given gift or name when I came about with the radio show called Love and Inspiration. And Love and Inspiration premiered about 3 days before Valentine's in 2007.
Right.
So the 11th of February 2007. And I broadcast that radio show also with a co-host on some intervals from out of the university every Sunday night. So when students are home, I'm trotting to the university in wind, rain, snow, sleet, everything, just to bring this radio show. And it was a very powerful radio show, and it still is, because now it's on St. Martin, and it really focused on how you can experience a more meaningful relationship, maybe family, maybe at work, maybe in your love relationship, but at the same time, how you can better your communication and look at inspiring aspects with a combination of nice, inspirational gospel contemporary music, love songs. And I did that for 2 years, actually. Yeah, 2007, actually, to 2010, so 3 years. And besides that, I had the opportunity to do another radio show, which was called International Voice. So various international students at the university I would interview, and they'll have an opportunity to share about the uniqueness of their culture, their country, and all of that. So when I came to St. Martin in 2010, I was not on the radio. I was thinking, wow, I need to do something. But I was getting myself also settled on the island. And then in 2011, I said, you know what, let me shop around to the local radio stations. And I thought, you know what, in the past I had been to radio stations on the Dutch side, so let me try the northern side. And that's when I approached Youth Radio,
Right.
92.5 FM. And
Okay,
they kicked off.
But before we really delve into what your
Yes.
radio program, the topics you have and stuff
Yes.
like that, you said it came to you and you wanted to start your program in the UK, and you did. Were you broadcasting from the university, and how did that go about?
Yes, I was broadcasting from the university, because the university quite uniquely had its own radio station on campus, its own TV station on campus. And it was that you could broadcast live on the AM dial, so locally in the county, but on the internet, the world is your oyster with the internet. So I had, you know, students listening on campus online, but also because of the popularity that the radio show gained popularity, there were even non-students, so professionals listening in London. Then it went over to the Netherlands because they listen online, France, Germany, and then I've even had self, while still in the UK, listeners even as far as Canada. So that's how it grew, from out of the UK, straight from on campus.
Okay. Well, Roy, when we come back from the break, we'll discuss more about your transformation from the UK to St. Martin and how your programs are very inspirational to others. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. So, Roy, let's talk now about the transition. You left the UK, you came to St. Martin, and you thought about starting your radio programs here, and you did. Tell us about that.
Yes. Back in August 2011, that was a big opportunity, I would say. I approached the station manager over at Youth Radio, and I had explained what my intentions were, that I wanted to introduce 2 new, exciting, innovative radio shows. So he stated to me, give us your plan, the time slots you would like to have. So I stated that to him that I would really love the weekend, because the weekend is when people really just want to feel free and after a whole long stressful week. So I got Saturdays and Sundays, and The Saturday show premiered on the 6th of August, 2011. So if anyone is viewing now, and if I ever did a quiz, you know, I've already given away when it premiered. And premiered on the 6th of August. And that Saturday show is entitled The Vibes. And The Vibes is really a full-on entertaining show on a Saturday afternoon, prime time, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., where during that time, you know, folks are in their cars, they're going shopping, they're at home, you know, cleaning and all that. So it's a show that gives you energy, makes you feel happy, because it's a combination of, you know, from dance to reggae to a bit of salsa, gospel contemporary, up-tempo music, and with a positive message. So a combination of that, plus on what's happening on St. Martin, you know, so what's going on for the weekend. Also, know your traffic rules. So it's very important to know while you're out there driving that, you know, you're safe on the road. So that's one of the exciting segments, you know your traffic rules, amazing facts about St. Martin. So and sometimes I have quizzes. So it's really a show that you do want to tune into on a Saturday afternoon. So that's The Vibes. Then when we look at the Sunday is Love and Inspiration, and that premiered on the 7th of August, 2011. And the whole aspect of Love and Inspiration is still the same as it was in the UK, the core of it. However, there's been new additions. So the new additions that is very inspiring for young people, anyone who's listening, as a matter of fact, is that there are segments such as the Love and Inspiration Prayer for You, which is a segment where I on air live, I pray for the public, I pray for you as a listener, for whatever you may be going through, so that, you know, you receive that. And then, you know, you have the opportunity to email back and say, you know, a miracle happened, or that prayer really did well for me. I've got the Love and Inspiration message, which, you know, focuses on various aspects, like, for instance, I utilize the book, you know, Declaring Promises Over Your Life from Joel Osteen. And that one is every Sunday. I've got something to ask the listener to put your right hand on your heart and repeat after me to declare something positive over your life. Then you've got Real Talk, which is so very key because it's all about relationship building. And that is the segment which focuses on important statements or questions that you can ask your spouse or your partner to get him or her talking. Because, you know, as it is, one of the major breakdowns in a relationship, one of them is communication. Secondly is finances, and thirdly is sex. You know, so if one of those is, you know, not working, then, you know, you've got a problem. So it really gets a couple to talk, and that's sometimes what's not happening really regularly, talking. So that's Real Talk. And then there's a new segment coming, which is The Perfect Getaway. So in that segment, I share a little bit about where there's places where, you know, you can go for a romantic dinner, where you can go and have a really good together time, which is very key for your relationship. And then, you know, other areas in the show is very inspirational for families, so how you can build on a more, you know, have a better family bond. Like last month, the month of June, I focus on families. I focus on marriage. I focus on also, unfortunately, divorce. And the month of August, I'm going to be focusing on understanding intimacy and sex much closer. You know, because these are also very important aspects of relationship building, being in a relationship. So that's what Love and Inspiration is all about. And I feel very happy about it, and I'm very thankful to the good Lord that, you know, when that name was birthed back in 2007 in the UK, that today, 6 years further, this commitment and there's that drive in my heart to head to the northern side every weekend to give my listeners the best of the vibes and Love and Inspiration.
Right. And you talked about families and keeping families together. You also talked about, you know, the perfect getaway for the couple. But how does a couple who has 2, 3, 4, I'm not saying 1 anymore because that's not typical anymore of a family, you know, most people have 2 kids and more. How do they plan such a getaway?
You know, it's quite funny, Angelique, that you mentioned that, because not too long ago I was talking to my fiance about that, you know, when I saw a family on holiday, and I said, wow, how do they do that, you know, a whole family. But the whole thing is about, as a family, I believe very much so, and this again is for the work that I do with working with families and also a bit of counseling, that is about really, as the parents, coming to an understanding of how important my family is, how important my role is as a parent or parents, and that, you know, in order for our family to grow together, is about what we consciously decide as parents that we're going to involve our children in, that we're going to be, you know, together. So it's about really making that step of planning a family vacation, where you know that the children will get really so much out of it, but you too in turn would enjoy it, you know. So there's no use of planning a vacation where you're going to be with your, you know, the mother, the father, you know, being cranky and the kids are having their fun and you're like, oh, I don't know what we chose here for, you know. But it has to be collectively that you've thought about it and you want to give the best to the family. You go together as a unit. And there are various places where families can go on the island together as, you know, together as a family. You know, you have the beaches, you have, places where you go for an ice cream together, or even you could go hiking. You know, it's just really taking that time and doing that, or even leaving the island for a bit and just going to one of the neighboring islands, teach your kids about the nature, you know, even here on the island, you know, lovely places, teach them about the animals, the iguanas, those sort of things, you know.
Okay, well, we're almost reaching to the point where we have to take a break.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you the question, and
Yes.
you think about it, and when we come back from the break, we'll discuss it more. So you talked about the getaway for families. Okay, now some hints and some tips to parents who want the break and want to just go away with each other. Okay? Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Are you really gonna eat all of that?
All of that chicken? All of that lettuce, cheese, and bacon?
Introducing KFC's new Mr. Twister. It's all that and more, featuring our famous crispy strips, bacon, lettuce, tomato, a cheese blend, and our signature Colonel sauce, all wrapped up in a giant tortilla and toasted to perfection.
You gonna eat all that chicken?
So good.
When I say Xerox, I know what you're thinking. Transit fares, as in the 37 billion transit fares we help collect each year. No. Oh, right. You're thinking of the 1.6 million daily customer care interactions Xerox handles, or the 900 million health insurance claims we process. So it's no surprise to you that companies depend on today's Xerox for services that simplify how work gets done, which is pretty much what we've always stood for. With Xerox, you're ready for real business.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. So Roy, this is our final segment of this program, and I want you now to answer my question. How does a family, mother and father now, get to go on a getaway vacation, but just the two of them?
Well, it almost sounds like you remember that program, Fantasy Island, you know, when you see the little guys, the plane. Well, you know, what I can suggest is really, if you have your kids, and you know you have a good relationship with your in-laws, or even your parents, you know, it's about really coordinating that, and you know, letting them know, you know, we would really like as a couple to really get away for, you know, a weekend as such. So it's about really working that out with trustworthy family members, because nowadays, you know, you've got to, you know, you can't just leave your kids in and anywhere with anyone. So you really do want to trust someone, even if it's, you know, an uncle or aunt. But you know, primarily you look at, you know, the in-laws or the parent self, and you know, just really consciously think about, you know, this is really the time that we're going to spend, because before we had our kids, you know, it was us, you know, and you are entitled to that we time together as a couple, because it's important to revitalize your relationship. It's good to keep the flame burning, and you know, you can think about going on a date, you know, saying, you know what, sweetheart, this weekend, you know, we're gonna do like, you know, when we first met, you know, so you take yourselves back to that sort of beginning times. This is our date, yes. You know what it was all like. So you look for a romantic, restaurant on the island, not too expensive, so you know you can at least afford the dinner, and you know you go and really do as if, you know, it's your first date again, or even if you go out for a movie, you go and you take some, walk together. And really, if you can leave the island just for the weekend, you go to one of the lovely islands next door and, just really have a weekend away in a hotel and just be pampered, but most of all, spend time together talking about how you want to move forward as a couple and how you want to move forward as a family. Right. And most important, keeping God central in your relationship, because as you know, the family that prays together stays together.
Yes,
the couple that prays together
taught that.
Stays together.
Right.
So that's what I can say.
So thanks, Roy, for that. In the first program that we did, you mentioned about the group that you're in, Y2X, and that they also started a radio program. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, the Y2X has their radio program also on Youth Radio 92.5 FM, which is entitled Fresh. And that started quite some years back, so it's now into, I believe, its 8th year. Going very successfully, and that is aired every Saturday between 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on 92.5 FM. A very energetic program which has really upbeat, youthful gospel contemporary music from artists locally and abroad. They have the verse of the day, they have community billboard, they have inspirational words, and just really in-depth talks that could really help youngsters, including how to go about using your finances in a very good way. Also interviews as such, on how because it's Christian based, how the enemy, uses people, keeps them enslaved in their ways, than actually allowing you to be free in mind and spirit. So a very powerful program which I would encourage both young and life experienced persons to listen to every Saturday at 6 to 7 p.m. on Youth Radio 92.5 FM. And then you've got Love and Inspiration, my radio show on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., focusing on inspiration, relationship, good music, and the Saturdays, of course, the vibes, full of energy, good stuff from 1 to 2 p.m.
Right. So, you were talking, I was all into it. Have you also been a guest on a Y2X program?
Well, not primarily as a guest, but I'm behind the scenes.
Okay.
Because I'm there as a coach.
Okay.
Because I'm
as a mentor.
As a mentor, because I also function as the head of the media ministries. So that's part of the media ministries from Y2X, which is their radio program, and coming soon would be a TV program and some other ventures for Y2X. So I'm there as their coach, mentor, motivator, and I just love to see the work that they do and the courage they have, and just doing their radio program.
A question: how many members Y2X? How many members do they have?
At the moment, the core team is a team of, off the top of my head, it's about 8 of us. However, there is still a wide membership of members there, which are those who still plug into what Y2X is doing, because over the years Y2X has done quite great stuff. The Youth Fest every year they've had up to 2009, and has touched so many young people's lives. The young people who are now in their professions as lawyers, NGOs, etc. So it's a very, very big membership. But however, what we're looking for now is those who really want to get involved now. You're more than welcome to join us.
Okay, Roy, unfortunately we've come to the end of the program.
Yes.
So once again, you look into the camera and give the times and the dates of when your programs air.
Okay, so I'll start off with Y2X Fresh. That's every Saturday on Youth Radio 92.5 FM, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So plug into that one. Then you've got my radio show, The Vibes, on the same radio station, Saturdays 1 to 2 p.m. And then on Sundays, Love and Inspiration from 2 to 4 p.m. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy all 3 radio shows.
So Roy, thanks once again. And I want to encourage you to continue motivating and inspiring people and also youngsters, and of course all of the persons living on St. Martin.
Thank you so much for having me, Angelique, and all the best to you.
You're welcome. And to you, the viewing audience, I would like to thank you for having been a part of A Better Place. I am your host, Angelique Rameau.